I'm Laura Faye, the host of White Pots. Today we have Scarlett from Wonder Curl with us. Scarlett, I am so happy to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Laura Faye.
You're very, very welcome. Why don't you start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and your journey on the way to your business?
Sure. I think so. My name is Scarlett Rocourt. I am a Haitian-born Jersey girl. And as you see, I have a lot of curly hair, and it's probably for most of my life, I hated my hair. I hated that it was so thick and curly, unruly, and frizzy. So for part of my high school, I relaxed my hair. I chemically straightened my hair. And then my senior year of college, I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore, and I wanted to embrace my natural texture. But the issue that I found over the years after that was that there were just no products on the market, and this was back in 1998. So I'm dating myself, but um, but if you can imagine, like there were no good products, especially for Afro textured hair.
Right.
And I became a product junkie, just like a lot of people are today, a lot of curly hair people. And every time I was just disappointed, and I decided I was just going to make these products myself. And I was living out in Florida at the time with my family. I was actually unemployed. And I was like, well, I got time on my hands. And I just started doing a lot of research to understand ingredients, what they mean, what works for our hair, what doesn't, and just started becoming a kitchen chemist. And it started from there and it just took off. And I'm excited.
Yeah, you could tell you're excited, and that is so great because it seems like it just started with your own need and the thinking that if I need this, so many other people do as well. So I
Yes.
love that. I love that. Tell me a little bit about Wonder Curl.
So the idea behind Wonder Curl, it's twofold, right? So the first one is to simplify the styling process. So anyone with curly hair knows that sometimes they have to use like so many different products
Yeah,
just to achieve a certain look. And then it doesn't even last that long, which is the most frustrating part because literally it takes me 4 hours to do my hair. And I'm
wow.
like, if it's going to take me 4 hours, it better look good and it better last, right?
Yeah,
And so that was the first part of it was that I wanted to make sure that it was simple. So on my wash day, I only use 4 products, and that's my shampoo, conditioner, a leave-in, and a gel, and that's it. I don't add anything extra to it. Keep it simple. And the other part is keeping our hair hydrated because curly hair tends to be on the drier side and it breaks off easily, especially the more coily our hair gets, the more brittle it can become. So that's the idea behind Wonder Curl is that our hydrating products, our moisturizers will lock that moisture into your hair and you don't have to re-wet or refresh it for days. And by doing that, you also retain length because a lot of Black women, because our hair breaks off easily, we're not able to achieve length. And the products will help you to do that.
right. Wow, that's really interesting. So out of all of your products, which one would you say is your best seller?
So that would be the moisturizing hair pudding. I'm checking to see if I have that. Yeah, so this is, if you can see that, that's the moisturizing hair pudding. This
Okay.
is the best seller. I sell it on my website and also on TikTok Shop. And it's like a one size fits most, right? Like not everybody's gonna love it, but most people who use it do. And that's
Right.
because it works on different hair types, textures, porosities. It just depends on how you're going to use it.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. That's really good to know because my hair is actually naturally curly.
Mm,
Quite as curly as yours, but
yes.
you'd be very surprised. So I blow it out straight, but that's good to know. Do you think it would work on hair like mine?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially because you also color your hair, so I'm sure
Yeah.
your hair is probably a little bit drier because of that.
Yeah.
I was blonde once as well, so I know like as soon as I went blonde, my hair had a harder time retaining moisture. So
Yeah.
it would dry out very quickly. It almost felt like hay at times. And
Yeah.
the products will um help again to coat the strand so that it locks that moisture in, but it doesn't make your hair feel greasy or weighed down.
Right.
So you definitely can And the crazy thing is that you'll have shine on your hair.
That's what I lack, shine. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. It sounds like I'm gonna have to try this.
Well, I have to send you some after this.
Thank you. So tell me, how does somebody find out about your products? Because there's clearly a need for them. So what
Yes.
has been your most effective marketing strategy?
So, really, social media has probably been the best one for me, especially being on TikTok. I think a lot of people, once you understand what your audience is looking for and you're able to give it to them. So, really, it's been like, and it's actually has shifted, I should say, like, because when I first started, 14 years ago, there was no social media the way it is now. We just have Facebook. So,
Right.
so I was using local events as a way to get the word out. But now that has changed so much that I could just stay right here and create tons of content, push it out to my audience where I'm just the way that I was talking to you, I do the same thing with them and I'm educating them on how to care for their hair. So
Yeah.
I'm Wonder Curl throughout all the social medias. TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram,
Yeah.
and X.
And X, yeah. No, that makes sense. I could see why there's definitely a need for it actually on social media and how you connect with people there. That makes perfect sense to me. Now, along your journey in business, like every business, I'm sure you've had obstacles that you had to face and overcome.
Hmm.
What would you say has been your biggest obstacle and how did you manage to overcome that?
I think for just anyone, it's always about finding the capital, right? The finance, the resources.
Yes.
That's always the hardest part. And I feel like we just have to figure out ways around it while we're trying to raise capital. Like I'm actually in the process of raising capital right now,
Right.
um, as a part of me launching um, to be larger and scale up.
Right.
So, but in between that time, it's finding ways to be more resourceful. And I think that's where I shine is that I can do things on the cheap, but make it look expensive.
Right.
So it's about understanding what you're good at. And then I will take that, but I'll outsource where I'm not so good and have someone else do that while I focus on growing the brand so that I can bring in more sales and bring in that more capital.
Right. Yeah, understood. Understood. That's always a challenge, but it seems like you're doing a great job of managing everything. And with that said, if I had a crystal ball and you were able to see the future of your business in it, where do you see yourself? What are your goals?
Wow. So I see myself probably being in the prestige market. So think like your Sephora's, Ulta, place like that. I'm actually working with a manufacturer to reformulate all of the products to be clean. Because when I first formulated the products, this was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And with ingredients having changed and the market changing, I also want to make sure I lift up the brand along with that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, Scarlett. I have no doubt that you are going to have continued success. I'm super excited to try your products. They sound like every woman's dream, whether it's curly hair or even somebody who, naturally mine is a little wavy. You said it could be helpful. So I thank you so much and appreciate everything that you shared with us today.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I This is like two things I can talk about all day is like hair care, like hair products and taking care of hair. Like just give me a mic and I'll talk about it all day.
Yeah, and it comes naturally to you. And that's why I have faith that your products are outstanding because when you love what you do, the result is always excellent. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.